Now, we know that it's not enough to address challenges like housing and infrastructure and job creation just in the short term. None of this will make a difference unless we build an economy that offers prosperity in the long run. We can't go back to a bubble and burst economy based on reckless speculation and spending beyond our means, and where a relative few do spectacularly well while the middle class loses ground. We can't go back to a culture on Wall Street that says it's okay to bend or break the rules, and a culture in Washington that says it's okay to look the other way. We can't go back to that. We can't allow what happened at AIG to ever happen again in this country. I know a lot of people are outraged about this. I'm outraged too. The idea that some of the very people who drove our economy into the ground could accept bonuses with one hand while they're taking taxpayer money with the other goes against our most basic sense of what's fair and what's right. I'm committed, as president, to ensuring that we have the tools to prevent the kinds of abuses that sent AIG spiraling in the first place, so we never again put our financial system at that kind of risk, and we're not held hostage by companies that are, quote unquote, too big to fail. We also want to do this because it serves the most important goal we have today, which is to rebuild our economy in a way that's consistent with our values. An economy that rewards hard work and responsibility, not high-flying financial schemes. An economy that's built on a strong foundation, not one that's propelled by an overheated housing market or everybody maxing out on their credit cards. We need to bring about a recovery that endures. You remember that ad where it used to say, we earn money the old-fashioned way we earn it, right? We make money the old-fashioned way we earn it. That's what we have to do. We have to get back to the principle of hard work and innovation and dedication. And that's exactly the purpose of the budget I'm submitting to Congress. It's a budget that makes hard choices about where to save and where to spend. Because of the massive deficit we inherited and the cost of this financial crisis, we're going through our books line by line so that we can cut our deficit in half by the end of my first term and reduce it by $2 trillion over the next decade. You know, I know that the governor's having to make these same tough choices, and there are going to be initiatives here that talk about the need for everybody to chip in, everybody to give a little something up in order to get our fiscal house in order. We're going to have to do that same thing at the federal level. Mayor Villaraigosa's got to do the same thing with respect to city budgets. These are tough times. What we won't do, though, is cut investments that will lead to real growth and real prosperity over the long term. Investments that will make a difference in the lives of this generation and future generations. So, because we know that spiraling healthcare costs are crushing families and dragging down the entire economy, and because we know it represents one of the fastest growing parts of our budget, we've made a historic commitment to healthcare reform in this budget, reform that brings us closer to the day when healthcare is affordable and accessible for every single American. That's something we've got to shoot for. It's time. It's time. It's time. We know, and we've got three principles right here in the front row. We know that, we know and they know that countries that out-educate us today will outcompete us tomorrow. And that's why my budget invests in a complete and competitive education for every American, in early childhood education programs that work, in high standards and accountability for our schools, in finally putting the dream of a college degree or technical training within reach for anybody who wants it. Because we know that enhancing America's competitiveness will require reducing our dependence on foreign oil and building a clean energy economy. This budget will spark the transformation we need to create green jobs and launch renewable energy companies right here in California. It makes clean energy the profitable kind of energy and invests in technologies like wind power and solar power and fuel-efficient cars and trucks and high-speed rail, powered by batteries like the one I saw in Pomona earlier today, all of which will help us combat climate change. That's got to be a priority. That's what this budget does. Now, here's what this budget doesn't do. It doesn't raise taxes on any family making less than $250,000 a year by a single dime. In fact, 95% of all working families will receive a tax cut as a result of our recovery plan. Now, there are those who say these plans are too ambitious, that anything we should be trying to do is just focused on the banking crisis. We should be trying to do less, not more. In fact, somebody was saying today, I think, that I shouldn't be on Leno. I can't handle that and the economy at the same time. Listen, here's what I say. I say our challenges are too big to ignore. The cost of our health care is too high to ignore. Our dependence on oil is too dangerous to ignore. Our education deficit is too wide to ignore. To kick these problems down the road for another 4 years or 8 years, that would be to continue the same irresponsibility that led us to this point in the first place. And I did not run for president to pass on our problems to the next generation. I ran for president to solve these problems for the next generation and for the next president.